Hey y'all, welcome back. If you are new or just passing through to my channel, welcome. My name is Tam. I'm also known as the Enlightened Auntie. If you're returning, welcome back, squad. I am here to do another general collective reading. We're not sign specific here, we're also gender fluid. I may say you and I'm talking to them. May say them, I'm talking to you. Put yourself in the story wherever you seem to fit. Remember that time and energy are fluid. So I could be talking about the recent past, the present, or the future. Take the parts that resonate, leave everything else behind. If you'd like to book a personal more aligned with your own story, all my information is below in the description box, and I invite you to join me for a session. Welcome in, y'all. I've done a lot of driving in the last few days. I'm tired. But I had a really good trip with my daughter. We had a good time. Before I get started with these cards, I want to talk about a little bit about the astrology coming up. I know we have a full moon that's coming up, but I don't even want to focus on that. We're already in the pre-shadow of Mercury's retrograde. But Neptune, okay, so tomorrow, today is the 3rd, calendarically. Today is July 3rd. Tomorrow, Neptune goes retrograde in Aries. And then on the 7th, Uranus is going to move from Taurus into Gemini, and it's going to be in Gemini for like 5 months. So from July the 7th until November 7th of this year, Uranus will be in Gemini. So check your placements wherever your Gemini house is. That's where you're going to be seeing some changes. You know, Uranus, it can be a disruptor. It can create some disruptions, but it's going to be like some dramatic change. It's in my 4th house. I'm a little bit nervous. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm looking at the positive sides of what that kind of change could actually create. So I'm not worried about it because it's also a 7-year transit, and it's long form. It's 7 years. We've had Uranus in Taurus for a really long time. It feels. But I also know that when Uranus went into Taurus, that was right around the time I started my it was shortly after I had started my awakening process. So, and I know that in the last 7 years, I have definitely transformed into an entirely different person with Taurus being my sun sign. So, I've definitely become somebody completely different in the time that Uranus has been in my sun sign. So, you know, you'll see some changes. Check your chart, see where Gemini is. That's going to be the house that's going to be most affected. Okay. Check that out. All right. I'm actually also going to use, I have a couple of decks, new decks that I haven't used. I just used it. I used one of them in one of my client readings. It was a really interesting read. I think I'm going to use that for today's reading today too as well. So let's get into it. See what Spirit wants to talk about today. Hope everybody is hydrated. At least I'm back in some like normal ass weather where I ain't got to worry and rely on air conditioning. I can open up my house and open the windows and everything, and it's actually nice outside. My daughter's out hanging out with her friends for a swim day. So we're having nice weather. Cause child, let me tell you, I think at the most, I think it was like 114 degrees. So we were like teetering between like 108. Like on my weather app, it said 108 was the high. On my daughter's weather app, it said it was 114 on Tuesday. 114. Like I said on Monday's live, I don't know how y'all live in these hot ass temperatures. I don't know how y'all survive that. Yeah, I don't like it. All right, let's get into it and see what Spirit wants to talk about. And do remember, July is going to be we got a hot seat of retrogrades all month long. Okay, we got Neptune going retrograde tomorrow. Then we have Saturn going retrograde on the 13th. Then we have Mercury going retrograde on the 17th. And then Chiron going retrograde on the 30th. And most of those are like Mercury's going to be in Leo. And then Saturn, Neptune, and Chiron. You're going to get some hits in your Aries house and a little bit in Pisces, and yeah, a little bit in Pisces, because while Saturn is retrograde, it's going to go from Aries into Pisces. Same thing with Neptune. It's going to start off in Aries and then it's going to go back into Pisces for a little bit. So, and you know, I fucks with Neptune, so I'm really interested because Neptune's retrograde is a long one. It's from July 4th until December the 10th. I need to get the more specific dates when it moves into Pisces specifically, but I'll do some research on that. All right, let's get into it. See what Spirit wants to talk about now that we've talked for like 5 minutes. Or now that I've talked for 5 minutes. Oh. Okay. Okay. This is interesting. This is very interesting. This looks like there's energy here that speaks of reconciliation. Maybe somebody here wanting to bring balance or restore balance into a situation. It may very well, this kind of looks like going into a new cycle, like with somebody that you're either currently dealing with or that you've already dealt with. And I heard the word surrender. I'm trying to figure out what the context is for that, because it's like surrender to allowing, instead of like trying to control or dominate how things are going. It kind of feels like allowing things to go with the flow without focusing on things that happened in the past. Okay, it's kind of giving this Page of Wands energy, because for me the Page of Wands is also kind of like akin to the Fool energy, where, you know, except we're not focusing on the past, we're not looking too far into the future, we're just, you know, being very present minded. And in this, it is giving me that energy. It's kind of like not focusing on the past, you know, not looking back at the past, learning how to, I heard, self-regulate your emotions, not thinking too far out into the future, but to remain balanced in the presence of the now. Okay. Because I do believe that Spirit is bringing something into alignment with you that you may have, you know, this may be a manifestation of yours that you're going to have to like take your hands off the wheel a little bit for this one. Okay. I'm curious now. All right. Okay, so some of you are a little bit stressed. Could be spending a lot of time ruminating. Maybe concerned about any changes that may be on the horizon, especially if this is talking about, you know, reconciling with someone. And because I feel like this person is a reflection, maybe a reflection of you, but there may be something you have to give up. I heard give up control. But I feel like control is not the right word. But if you're surrendering and allowing things to just take form however they're taking form, that keeps things in a more balanced tone. Okay. Yeah, so there's a concern here. You know what this feels like? This energy definitely it's coming to me like this Uranus and Gemini, because there's a lesson that you've already learned here with round and round in the reverse. And so while you may not necessarily be, because I do see there's a little bit of concern here where you're kind of like, you're kind of focused on the changes that may be occurring. But the thing is that you've already learned the important lessons. Okay. Ooh-wee. And that's what it is. You're worried about giving somebody a second chance. But the thing is, and I know that my messaging has largely been the past does not have anything new to say, and I still stand firm on that. Past doesn't have anything new to say. However, I do believe here that whatever lesson that was due to come from this situation, whatever I'm talking about, again, I may not be talking about that deadbeat ass ex of yours. I might not be talking about your lame friends or your, fake siblings and all that shit. I don't know who this is. But I definitely see somebody's worried about giving somebody a second chance. But there's also changes here, and I have to believe that change is good. Okay? But let's keep going. Now, this is interesting. Because I feel like part of the lesson here for you this is interesting. Because I kind of feel like the divine is leading you to see something. That was part of the lesson. Because whatever this is, there is a sense of loyalty here. Now, when I flip the card over, Loyal Heart, I was actually kind of shocked. I'm not going to lie. But when I flipped it over, I initially thought, I was like, oh, I can love you from a distance. Because that's what I heard. I could love you from a distance. Because I think whatever this is, because I see where there's a lot of rumination, there's worry. And I feel like the divine is leading you towards some. So maybe whoever this person is, maybe there is, and I know I'm going to see it all in the comments, but maybe somebody here has some closure issues. I didn't say you, because again, I know I'm going to see it in the comments. I think somebody here has closure issues. So it kind of, the way that it looks to me, because I definitely see where you're in a peaceful state. So it kind of feels like the person, like maybe there's somebody here that you walked away from. They have closure issues. But whoever this person is, they may have always made you feel like they made you feel like an outsider to whatever their agenda is, right? And I think that what part of the lesson here literally is about your ability to love somebody literally from a distance. Because this is giving me, it's like you don't have to entertain them, you don't have to deal with them, you don't have to, because now when I talk about reconciliation does not mean reunion. It doesn't necessarily mean that we kumbaya and we lock arms and we go hand in hand into the sunset. It just means, we're going to clear the air and we're we can talk about what happened in the past, or we can look at the trash on both sides of the street, but I'm still moving forward. I'm just not moving forward with you, so that I can maintain my peace, because I'm getting ready to go on a new cycle. I'm getting ready to go on a new cycle. I'm on my new cycle. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So here's the thing. I think for somebody here, there may have been like a low level concern that it's almost, because it almost kind of feels like you walked away from somebody and there wasn't any real closure. Like maybe you just ghosted. I don't know how you did it. I mean, I know how I did it, but I don't know how you did it. But this feels almost like there was a little concern, because in the back of your mind, maybe you had an inkling that somebody would eventually come back at some point in time. You recognize that, and you may have also felt as though it would require some type of action on your part. But again, when I told you, when I flipped these cards over, I heard I can love you from a distance. Loving somebody from a distance doesn't actually mean participation or inclusion or any of that. Right? Now, because I kind of get the impression here too, that in order for there to be any kind of second chance, because I see somebody's definitely worried about giving somebody a second chance, only because you've already been through the mill a couple of times. Right? And I feel like if this is somebody here that, because I kind of get the impression somebody needs some assistance from you, they would have to do things, whoever this person is that wants back in your life, there's some things that would have to take place here in order for you to allow them into your life. They would have to, there's some things they would have to clean up. They'd have to correct, right? And if there's no correction, if I don't see you taking action towards that, then I can't give you another opportunity to come into my life and just blow my shit up. Like, no, we're not doing that. It's not necessary for you to do anything, okay? Because in the current energy, I do feel like there's some folks here, because orphaned is in the reverse. So usually when I see orphaned in the reverse, it kind of tells me there's like other people here. Folks that you have moved on from. I feel like the folks that you've moved on from, there's an energy here of folks trying to resurface. And it's not because of anything that you've done. You're not literally, you're like, I'm good. I ain't thinking about y'all. Look, I've moved on, and I'm not I've found balance and equilibrium for myself, and I've walked away from things that aren't good for me. You've already moved on. You've already closed out cycles. I feel like this here, I'm talking to somebody specifically that is a little concerned that, and I've been talking about it. So obviously it's going to be part of the collective. Like there's a little energy of like, there is a possibility of folks coming back. Now, the one thing that I was reading up on, because I did question, I'm like, every time Mercury goes retrograde, and we always talk about, exes coming back and blah, blah, blah. I never actually have that happen. And so I was reading up on that, and I was reading where, like, if you don't have, exes that come back or whatever, stuff like that, if they're not specifically exes or anything like that, it's because you've already learned the lessons from those people, so they don't need to come back. There's no, like, the divine strips their access, so they don't have an avenue to come back into your life, because you've already learned the specific lesson that you needed to learn from that one particular relationship. So I don't know who this is for you, but I do want to say, like, when the time comes, because the time is coming, when the time comes, don't be afraid. Okay? Don't be afraid. You don't need to be afraid, because you've already learned the lesson. You've already learned it. And while they may not be different, and they may not have evolved, and they may not have changed, you have. So hold on to that. Okay? Regeneration in the reverse. So, like I said, there's an energy here of somebody maybe wanting to reconcile with you. But there is no actual energy that supports any kind of like do-over. Because there's no abundance found in the, there's no abundance found in the connection, and they may have taken too long to come back to try to balance things out with you. All right. It is a soulmate. You've already learned the lesson that's connected to the past with this person, whoever this is. I always say it, soulmates aren't always romantic, so whoever this is for you. I think that's been the thing. You've already learned the lesson. Okay. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I think you're a little bit worried about. Uh-oh. I think you're a little bit worried about. Uh-oh. I think you're a little bit worried. Why is this not playing? Okay. I think you're a little bit worried about the amount of effort you would need to put in. You're kind of worried about the amount of, because I feel like usually, you know what, it's funny because when I see the buy the book card, I know we all see something different in these decks. Different readers read them different ways, but when I see that card, I do think about family, and the ways that we conform to a social standard, or you know, it's just the way that we conform to a social standard. And I think you're kind of worried that it's going to disrupt, like if this is family, I think you're worried about what you may have to do and how that may disrupt like your life by having to fix something of theirs. Still in the mindset of you can love folks from, yeah, see, and even here, not for you, mending in the reverse. You're happy by yourself. You've already gotten the closure. You've gotten the closure, and you're already facing your new life. Yes. Okay. So even from the bottom of this deck, it's just kind of regurgitating the same things that I have out here. So I don't know who this is for you, but there is no energy that actually supports like a do-over, because there's no abundance to be found here. And I also feel like it's not part of your 10 of cups. Whoever this is that like approaches you, it's not part of your 10 of cups. And I think, again, like I said, if they would have come into you sooner, maybe you'd be like, okay, I'll hear you out. But at this stage, I think because you've already learned the lesson, you've already healed through it, I think you've outgrown them. And I honestly feel like the only reason why these people or persons are coming towards you is because they need some help. And they're having an expectation that you would be there to provide help for them, and that ain't your place. I didn't help get you in that position. I can't help you get out of it. There it is. All right, let's pull these back and go into tarot. All right. Just like I told my client, I'm gonna read these a little bit slower because I'm not familiar with the deck enough to like understand all the energy of it, because I literally just cracked the box open. I've had both of these decks for a few months. I just haven't. When I buy decks, I buy a bunch of them at the same time, and I just kind of ease them in. But I haven't I haven't used this one at all, except for my last reading. And I actually like this deck a lot. And they're sideways. And then I have a square deck too. It's the same deck, but it's square, and it just expands the imagery. Oh, I love it. All right, so let's see what's going on. Yeah, so whatever this is, let me grab one more. Whoop. Okay. So listen, I think whoever this is that's wanting to that come in and approach you, I think what you're worried, like I said, you're kind of worried about like the effort that you would have to put out. And the thing is that I can clearly see here that you've been one. Let's talk about how much you've been through. Because I definitely see you've been through a lot, and you definitely don't look like what you've been through. I do feel like you have been you've experienced several relationships where there had been backstabbing and betrayal. Backstab, and what I see here, it definitely feels like you're concerned about, okay, if this person, people, whoever shows back up, you already are aware that they're not loyal. You already aware that these people have really nothing to offer or provide to your life. I do have the energy here of somebody, because not everybody is in the same energy, but I do have the energy here of somebody who is genuinely like, I'm not sure what to do here in this situation. Do I let you in, or do I kind of hold you off at the gate? Like, I'm at the gate. I can't let you in the gate, because if I let you in, then there's a possibility that you may try to, like, come in and demolish my whole life. So there is somebody here who's genuinely kind of like, I'm at a crossroad because I really don't know how to address this. There's a lot of emotions involved. Okay. Damn. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. What this looks like to me is, like I said, you don't look like what you've been through. I get the impression here that you've got somebody here who is not happy with your evolution. They're not happy about the fact that you've healed since you've been, since you've parted ways from them or whatever. I feel like you no longer prioritize somebody in particular. And I think now what you're focusing on is this feels very much like you're not focusing on all of the shit that you've been through, the heartache, the betrayal. You're focusing on the love. You're focusing on yourself. You're focusing on the people who pour into you. You focus on connections that you genuinely have, with folks that genuinely have love for you, reciprocated, energy. Because I feel like whoever you were dealing with, you had been dealing with somebody that you actually had love for, and they were betraying you the whole time, had been backstabbing you, playing mind games. And the crazy part about it is, you might have been really honest about who you are and how, you showed up in the most authentic energy you could come in. And you have somebody here who They have been lying or hiding the fact that they had been disloyal to you the whole time. They was out here juggling you with a bunch of other people. Juggling you while having your emotions all topsy-turvy. There's definitely something here connected to your past, though. I love this. I said you don't look like what you've been. You don't look like what you've been through. I don't like this energy. I don't like this energy. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Okay, good. Okay. Whew, I was starting to get nervous there. I don't like this energy. I'm gonna be very honest. Um, because I feel like whoever this person, I have somebody here, the whoever this person is who is backstabbing and betraying you. Again, this is somebody that you genuinely have love for, and I'm telling you, this whole time there was no loyalty here. They had no sense of loyalty towards you. They just liked the amount of energy and time that you invested in them. So it's kind of like, you know, when you love somebody, like it's your love that makes them fascinating. It's your love that makes them interesting and worth having in your life. And when you remove that, they're no longer that appealing. This person been lying to you the whole time. Whoever this is, they've been hiding the fact that they've been juggling other people, because whoever this person is, they don't even know how to be by themselves. They don't know how to be by themselves. It almost feels like somebody who needs to be surrounded by other people and showered with attention all the time. But they don't want you to know that. So the saving part about this is the fact that you don't have any actual desire to engage. And I think you really only, I'm like focusing on this, you're really only wanting to invest in protecting what you've created, especially if it's, you know, if you're in new relationships, new healthy relationships, you're thoroughly invested in protecting the healthy relationships that you've cultivated or grown. And if it's not about being in a relationship, it's about you and your relationship with yourself. You're more invested in focusing on what you want, not focusing on what you don't want. Because I do have this one whole row is just all I see is these two rows here. I just see nothing but backstabbing and betrayal and lies, secrets, something being hidden, dishonesty, disloyalty. Continuing, and then I also have the energy here of somebody who is literally trying to, if you're in a relationship, I do have the energy here of somebody, like if they may have even, and I don't necessarily I haven't pulled any more cards, but I'm like, the way I'm looking at it, it's like they've invested a lot of time trying to disrupt somebody's relationship, and they're having a hard time because there ain't nothing going on there. If you're in a relationship, your relationship is fine. But I do feel that there's somebody here who had been deeply invested in trying to dismantle or disrupt your relationship by throwing in, you know, extra. Oh, wait, this way. Yeah, I don't like this energy. Because it kind of feels like somebody here, if you're in a relationship, it almost feels as though, yeah, it's almost as if they wanted, mm, I see so much. So I get the impression that somebody is upset, yes, especially if you've chosen to align yourself with somebody different or someone new. Somebody here is trying to stop you from moving forward any further. They don't want to get you, they don't want you to get any further ahead than where you are. Somebody doesn't want to get there's so much on these cards. I feel like somebody here has been trying to threaten your independence and your happiness. So your resources and your emotional wealth, somebody has literally been here behind the scenes trying to create havoc in your life cuz they don't like how stable you are. Ooh, there's a lot here. And I'm gonna tell you the consistent. And I know I don't normally talk about zodiacs unless they come up in the index cards. But I'll tell you who I got out here because these same signs keep showing up in all the readings. I got Gemini, Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo, Virgo, Taurus, Aries, Gemini, Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, Aries. Leo's prominent out here. Virgo, Taurus. So I have the energy here of somebody who was, and I feel like they thought they was real confident in taking this action because they thought that they could accomplish either breaking you up or like just disrupting your life enough to where misery loves company. So if somebody's life is upside down, they wanted it's funny because if they had actually invested time into their own lives, they'd be in a better space. But I feel like this person was so invested in trying to tear your shit up to be in competition with you. Ooh, I see so much. And whoever this person is somebody that you genuinely had love for. It's somebody you genuinely had love for. That you actually spent a lot of time trying to cultivate. And I feel like eventually you just kind of figured out, like, you know what, I'm probably better off just leaving you where you are and go off on my own because this ain't making me happy. So I feel juggled. I don't feel like you're actually, focused on me or focused on our relationship, whatever the dynamic of the relationship is. And you just made a decision, you know what, I'm a dip. Cause I'm not happy here. Now you have somebody here. Now I see. I'm looking at all these cards. I'm taking this all in. You also have somebody out here who did something that they're trying to hide. They did something, they're trying to hide it. They're still trying to hide it. They've been trying to hide it. Whatever it was, it didn't give them the result that they were looking for. And they're deeply, deeply depressed by it. Because something changed. You're not available for assistance. Ooh, I don't know what this is. I'm sure you'll tell me in the comments. I'm like, ooh, there's a lot going on out here. There's a lot going on out here. But I do see where somebody here is trying to protect whatever it is that they've cultivated. So if you've, initiated a new relationship or new relationship cycles, you're protecting your relationships. You're protecting what you love. Somebody also didn't bank on the fact that you would invest in other things other than them. Yeah, somebody is not happy here. And they're trying to keep, okay, now I also have an energy. Remember when I said it, like, if you're in a relationship, somebody here could have been paid to come in and disrupt the relationship. Somebody could have been paid to disrupt a relationship. Paid, bribed, whatever. Okay. Now this is different. Now I've heard about this in other readings, but I don't think I've ever had this on my board. Oh yeah, maybe, just not in this way, because I definitely see where there's something. This person did something in the past behind your back. They don't want you to know about it because they're hiding it. Has something to do with maybe a love interest from your past. That's what I say. I feel like it, like, so I'm like, I feel like I'm moving. I definitely feel like I'm moving through timelines on the board, because this feels like somebody, like, if you were in a relationship in the past that you were trying to like really cultivate. It's like somebody did something to make somebody. I mean, you can't make somebody disloyal if they wasn't already like that. You know what I mean? Because I feel like whatever you were doing in this relationship, like trying to keep it steady or trying to keep it stable, it seemed to be like a lot more work than it was work. Like, just, I don't know, it just like it required way more effort to stabilize it. And a person had been betraying you the whole time behind your back. They had been betraying you the whole time. Oh. So. Oh. So this, okay, remember when I said somebody came in here, like maybe this is somebody who came in between a partnership, because this is giving me like past energy. So this could have been like a past relationship. So this feels like somebody they don't want to, and they definitely don't want you to know about it. But this feels like somebody here who, because this is transactional, got involved in a relationship. So maybe this person, follow me, somebody that you might have been in a relationship with before in the past who betrayed you. Maybe they were influenced by someone else. So the person that stepped in, I hope I'm making sense. So the person that came in, like say that came in between you and your partner or whatever, or you and whoever you were with, this person, your person ended up choosing the other woman. They made a choice. And okay, there we go. Okay. So I said I feel like I'm crossing timelines here because I feel like I'm talking about an old story, but I'm also kind of talking about like right now or present, like coming into the present. Because this feels like somebody from your, like, say in their past, they were disloyal to you the whole time. They didn't want you to see it. I just see a lot of disloyalty and lies. Just like all this whole upper half is like a bunch of disloyalty and lies. right? So where you are right now presently is you're in a protective stance. Like, I've rebuilt my life because I've been through some shit, and now I'm protecting what I've created for myself. I've created, solid foundations. I've created, I've fostered healthy relationships that there's reciprocated love between me and the people that I'm involved in these relationships with, right? But what this person that made this decision to choose this other person, they made a choice. They had an option between two people, and they chose the other person, this transactional person, right? For money, I want to say. What they did not realize, because it was being hidden from them, is that you, because I see they didn't see it before. I don't think they saw it before. You're the Empress. Take it how it resonates. You could be the Empress or the Emperor, because I got them out here too. But I'm just based on the cards that I have them laid. You're standing in your power, whether you're masculine or feminine. You're standing in your power. Oh, it's Amazon. You're standing in your power either way. And you're making a conscious choice not to, you're literally in this stance of protecting what you've created, especially if you've created some sense of stability for yourself. You're protecting that. And you're not taking action towards your past. You're not looking at it. You're not focused on that. Yes. So this person was manipulated. They were, and they may, and I said it before I even thought it. Like, I thought it about like a practitioner, but I didn't actually have the cards out here at the time when I saw it. But I see them now. They're here. So very well may have had somebody pay a practitioner. Oh yes. Oh, you can put that right there next to the other box. It's just the muscle milk. That's why it's so heavy. Okay. So that's crazy. Because it almost feels like if this is somebody that you walked away from, I mean, because they made their choice. So you just, you stood down, you walked away. It almost feels like somebody waiting for you. Oh, this is so much. It's almost like somebody was waiting for or having an expectation that you would come back. This looks like it was a divine counterpart. Honestly, whoever this was. Somebody may have gotten in this person's ear or presented another option for this person. So this distorted masculine chose another person. They made a choice. They made a choice. But when I say they made a choice, they also lost their spot. They lost their spot. So, this is so heavy. So, I can see where, because you had somebody in your energy, I don't know who this is. There's a lot of people out here, but I can see where somebody may have invested money here to get somebody to walk away from you. And it may have broke you down. Your relationship with that person, whatever that was, it may have broke you down. But the crazy part is the relationship that he chose, whatever he went to, kind of looks like he ain't happy there. He ain't happy there. He's not happy there. And it's because this is so weird. because there's so many moving parts. It's like somebody, you were the target. Let's just break that one down. You were the target. So somebody dislikes you so much that they wanted to kind of dismantle your life. So if you, like I said, you're protecting what's yours, especially if you're in a relationship. If you got into a new relationship, you're definitely protecting that relationship. You're protecting what's yours from anything that could potentially undermine that. But you got somebody here doing juju. We're gonna pull Amanda's cards. You got somebody here doing juju though, and it was meant to affect your life. And like this is like maybe just because I'm using two very bright, vibrant decks, and there's so many colors here. It's a lot. It's a lot. And the thing about it is, the end result is this masculine, he is not happy because he and the person that he ended up with are always I feel like they're at odds with each other a lot. I think the tower for him or this practitioner may be the fact that you're not, I feel like somebody here may have wanted you to even be mentally trapped or stuck on somebody, stuck on this person, but you're not there because you've healed through it already. You've already done the healing work. And I said it before I even started laying the secondary cards, like, you don't look like what you've been through. You've been through a lot, but you don't look like what you've been through, and you're rising to the occasion despite whatever is going on in the background you might not even know about. And the crazy part is, this one row makes me feel it feels like whatever you've done, okay, because I'm going to tell you, this here looks like, if this is your relationship, this is where you are right now. I feel like you're stable, and even if you're single, you have a healthy embodiment of your masculine and your feminine energy, so you're like in balance with, because that's like, you don't come into union until you're in union with self first. At least that's the way it should work. So this appears to be like, whatever you did, like the healing work that you did it like behind closed doors where nobody could see. Like, that's why I say you don't look like what you've been through. Like, so you've been through a whole bunch of shit. There are some things that even these people, whoever been against you, they didn't even see what you were actually going through. But you still come out and you show up as this regal authority. And I've said it before, like, baby, you can manifest. I got chills. You can literally manifest anything out of dust with your sheer willpower and determination. You don't try to control things, you allow things to flow. But I definitely see here where you have made some very strategic moves out of the public eye, so that whoever this is that has been attacking you can't actually penetrate you, because they don't know what to attack. So if the purpose of this person is to come back, because I kind of feel like this right here almost seems like somebody, because they can't see what you're doing. They don't understand how you're in this. This is the part that they don't understand. Even with all the lies and stuff, they don't understand how you're in this 9 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles energy. They don't understand it. I did all this stuff. I don't get why you're still plugging along. You're still happy. You're still, in a very loving energy. This person's butthurt. You're literally butthurt because you won't fuck with them. But you're butthurt. They're butthurt because you won't initiate. You won't even look in their direction. They were waiting or having an expectation that you may return, and you haven't. So they're not happy. Yeah, this. Oh, damn. I'll take them all. They flipped. Yeah, so you have somebody here. It could be two people. Because that's you right there. Ooh. Okay, so let's talk about the people. So it's a few people out here. I'm going to talk about a bunch of different scenarios here because I can see a few different things. One, I do have a mothering energy. Not a good mother. This energy here feels like somebody who is transactional, somebody who lacks any type of emotional depth. This is somebody who only deals with like surface level relationships. They don't go deep. I'm only here because of what you can provide for me. Okay. This person here, you decided to let it go. If this is family, again, this could be a mother figure, but if this is like your mother specifically, like you made a judgment call to like go for a new cycle elsewhere. This person is also pissed off. They're also pissed off because you are deeply connected to source. So they were very evidently, they didn't know your spiritual ranking. So whatever they owe, that's what it is. Because I said you don't look like what you've been through. So they don't understand your spiritual ranking because every time they try to do something against you, they get a tower moment every single time they try to do something and it doesn't actually work. Because I can see where in several instances they've tried to take you down or try to disrupt your life in all these like little various forms, but they don't know how to do it because they don't know what you're doing. They can't see you. And even if you're on social media, like I'm on social media, but I don't, y'all don't know the ins and outs of my life or what I do or whatever unless I share a little bit. And even when I share very little. And this person is worried. That's an interesting energy. It almost feels like, because here's the competition, here's the conflict. So I said even before, I said if this person, they went to somebody else, they chose somebody else, they're in conflict with that person all the time. There's always fights. They're fighting all the time. There could be children involved. There could be a child involved, like an adult, like a child, an adult child. There's so much here. There could be an adult child here in the mix as well. You could be the adult child. I have somebody here angry. They thought you were coming back. They had a whole plan. They had a whole plan to have you on your knees, bowing down to them. And they're mad. They're mad because you chose to go your own way. They're mad because they thought that they could come in here and try to have a new cycle with you, but you're likely not going to be interested. What did I say before? I can love you from a distance. I can love you from over there. Stay away from me. There are a lot of people here that have been coming. Like if you're in a relationship, there are a lot of people who have been coming against you. A lot of people. And the people that came against you, The people that came against you, they're all going to experience, if they haven't already started, they're all going to be experiencing the same thing. And they're worried about it. They're worried about, because this kind of gives me the impression of like somebody that needs to go, like they're like Dark Night of Souls, like knocking on their door right now, and they're freaked out. They don't want to have to experience that, but they have to, and they have to do it alone, just like you did. They're terrified. They're terrified. Oh, wow. The moon in the reverse, achievement in the reverse, and release. So, whatever they've been trying to do is about to be illuminated. Their failures are about to be illuminated, and somebody's about to be released here. Or the fact that you've released them already. Strong fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. Very well could still be asleep, whoever we're talking about. Somebody who has not experienced an awakening there. Like I said, somebody here is almost like damn near trying to avoid the dark night of the soul. And I've said it before, like the more you fight it, the worse it is. The worse it is. Because I really believe, if I look back in my life, I think I want to say maybe before my like awakening in 2018, I want to say maybe 3 times before that, I experienced something that probably I would liken it to Dark Night of the Soul, and I didn't know what to do with it. I just, so I sought therapy. Like, but I don't know what's going on with my life, so I went and got therapy, and they put me on meds. So that, and the medication kind of like, calmed the emotion so that I could function a little bit, but I still hadn't addressed the issues. Somebody got to address their issues. And the thing is, I think I've said it too in other readings. Once you wake up, like once you're awakened, you can't go back to sleep. So you can't like unsee all the things that you've seen. And somebody's mad because they can't. There's nothing that they can do to manipulate the energy to put you back to sleep. Like you're stable, you're grounded, you're thriving, you're happy, and this person is just pissed. And the thing about it, and they're even more pissed at the fact that they can't see your process. They don't understand how you can be in the position that you're in. I've done all of these things. How are you still like that? How are you still standing? Yeah, I think you recognize the cycle here. And you know better. And when you know better, you do better, right? Yes, because obfuscate in the reverse. Because you see it now. Wisdom with obfuscate. And like, you see the cycle. You see it now. You know what it is. So they can't, bottom of the deck, toxic. You can't fake it. You already know what it is. Yeah, and like somebody can't deny the fact that you've changed and you've grown. You've got some accomplishments under your belt. They have failed to do whatever it is they were trying to. Who I'm talking about, somebody here who has not gone through their awakening. This is somebody who's resisting it. They're resisting the transformation. They're resisting the change. As a relationship is dying, come to an end. And all they can really, they're stressed because you've grown so much. They don't know what you know. And you're protected. They don't know how. And your bond is, if you're in a partnership, your bond is strong. and you've been able to overcome whatever things that have happened to you or to your relationship, whatever the things that have been trying to afflict your relationship or break you up, like you've been able to manage through whatever they've tried to throw at you. You just transmuted the energy. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. Let's get some index cards. There are a lot of people out here, though. But I do, I keep hearing adult children. So, like I said, you may have somebody may have an adult child that may be in the mix as well, with whoever this person is has been trying to like bring your downfall. An adult child, yours or somebody else's, may be involved. Okay. We got fake friends. Someone knows that you know the truth. Spirit says take a spiritual bath or cleanse your space. What they wanted for you is happening to them. It's karma. Somebody wanted you to be homeless and alone. Someone says, I don't know how you do it. You've been gifted since birth. Your spirits, your guides and ancestors got you covered, so you're highly protected. You have somebody out here who may be a sex addict. Someone's in deep regret. Again, you know the truth. Somebody's trying to assassinate your character. Someone's acting like a victim. You may be getting music downloads. Listen to the lyrics of the music you're listening to. We have return to sender. Someone's immature and stuck in the past. Someone says, why doesn't it work on you? So like I said, whatever they've been doing, whatever juju they've been doing, it's not working. All right, somebody's cyber stalking you. Somebody is a false mentor, gives bad advice on purpose. Somebody projects negative energies towards your children. Somebody's getting instant karma for that as well. Continue to move in silence. I can see that already. Yeah, somebody may be facing homelessness or wanted you to face homelessness. Somebody may be impersonating you in order to ruin your reputation. So like a doppelganger or some shit. Somebody may be trying to affect your root chakra. We have Archangel Zadkiel out here for forgiveness, mercy, and benevolence. We have failed attempts, empty victories. We have a baby daddy out here. Somebody's greedy, selfish, and entitled. We have Pisces. Somebody uses money, power, and sex for influence. We also have an Aquarius out here. You chose a new contract. Archangel Gabriel's out here for clear communication and expression. Continue making your strategic moves in silence. We have somebody here who is self-absorbed and possessive. Someone's not taking responsibility for their actions. Your light pisses off their demons. Release the burdens that are not yours. You have meddling family members, illegal activities, and stepchild. Bottom of the deck, uncles. Uncle or uncles. All right, let me grab. This deck's so big because my hand is not that big to hold these cards. So this is Amanda Lewis's deck of Energies of Affliction. I'm gonna keep on talking about this because I love this deck. The link to purchase it is in the description box below. Amanda is one of my amazing moderators. And incidentally, if you have any merchandise or anything that you would like some help in promoting or pushing, my business information is below in the description box as well. Send me a sample. I will promote you on the channel as well. And I'm making like a whole section just for like other members of my soul tribe who have stuff, so that we can cross promote. If you have a deck, I would love to use your deck. I will use it on the channel. We'll talk about it all the time, and I'll use it so that you can get some sales. get some promotion. All right, let's see. Since we know they've been playing in juju, what have they been doing? What isn't working on you? What juju are they doing that's not working on you? They're paying a dark practitioner. Voodoo or hoodoo rituals in these practices may include using dolls or other objects to focus energy towards someone, affecting their health, relationships, or general well-being. Energy pollution, negative environmental energy such as toxic spaces or communities that affect a person's health and well-being, and I stay myself out of those situations. So yeah, that would never work. Inverted protection spells, rituals that are designed to reverse protective energies, creating vulnerabilities and allowing harm or attack to happen. Like I said, you're highly protected though, right? Spiritual attachments, negative or dark entities attached to a person, draining their energy and causing feelings of fear, anxiety, or oppression. This can happen during moments of vulnerability or through negative spiritual practices. And we know we have somebody here who's a negative spiritualist, right? False guidance, receiving advice or direction that seems right but ultimately leads to destruction or confusion. Take two more. Someone will transition. Shamanic manipulation, misuse of shamanic practices or spiritual rituals to control, harm, or manipulate others' energy for selfish purposes. So really all they want to do is just manipulate the energy and influence anything that's going on in your life with like negative energies. Like, boo, go to hell. Like, literally, go to hell. All right, let's do some truth cards and then we'll wrap. So what are y'all doing for the 4th? Y'all going somewhere? Are you doing anything? I mean, for those in the U.S., our country is going to hell in a handbasket. So there's that. And I'm not doing anything at my house. All right. Oh, deck's upside down. All right, we have chakra balance. If you have a question, the answer is maybe. 222 may be of significance. Somebody's feeling alone. Open up your heart. Fresh start. Closure is needed. Well, I said that in the very top of the reading. Somebody might have some closure issues. Fear and worry. Yes. Romance is yours. And strength. Choose you first. More to come. Show more respect. Relationship improvements. Ask more questions, for sure. Deepening bond. Immature emotions. The long haul. Returning to you. Romance is yours, returning to you. Someone desires reconnection. Whoever this is that's returning to you desires reconnection. But they have immature emotions. Goodbye. Alignment. More to be revealed. More to come, more to be revealed. Harvest. Usually when I see harvest, I think fall. And it's card number 9. So I'm thinking like fall. Like, you know, Libra, Virgo season. Shift your focus. Positive energy. Time apart. Happy outcome. Soul tribe. And finally, be confident. Love it. All right, so let's look at the synchronicities. Ooh. Okay, immediately I see 2222 or 222, 1414, 133, 99, 323, 323, 1116. 1331. 1010. 199 or 991 or 919. All right, let's look at the dates. So I have January the 2nd, January the 7th, January the 13th, January 14th, January the 16th, January the 11th, January the 22nd, January the 19th. Oh, 119. I've got February the 1st, February the 3rd, February the 15th, February the 22nd and 23rd. February the 7th, February the 13th, 14th, 15th, or 16th. February 13th, 14th, 15th, or 16th. March 1st, March 2nd, March 11th, March 19th, March 16th, March 22nd, 23rd. Did I say March 15th? Yeah, March 7th, March 9th. I got a lot of March dates. March 9, March 7, March 14th, March 10th, March 17th, March 8th, March 15th. March 13th. No dates in April. No dates in May. No dates in June. I have July the 3rd. Happy birthday if it's your birthday today. July the 3rd, July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. July 10th. Oh, July 9th, 10th, July 15th, July 16th, July 23rd, July 14th, July 13th. August the 3rd, August the 14th, August 15th, August 17th. September the 3rd, September the 10th, September the 14th, September 16th, September 17th. October 1st, October 3rd, October the 7th, October 13th and 14th, October the 9th, October the 17th, and October the 7th. And then November 1st, November 3rd, November 16th, November 19th, November 23rd. And I think that's it because I don't think I have any dates in December. Yep, that's it. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. If any parts of this reading resonate for you, gave you clarity or confirmation over your own story or situation, give the video a thumbs up so we can circulate into the algorithm and get this in front of the eyes that need to see us the most. If you'd like to book a personal more aligned with your own story, all my information is below in the description box, and I invite you to join me for a session. My books are always open. Even when I travel, my books are always open. Because the only days I don't actually book are like if I'm traveling, because I do work when I travel. I just don't read on the days that I have to, if I'm driving, I just don't read on the days that I'm driving because I'll be tired. Anywho, but thank you guys for all the likes, shares, subscribes, the tips, donations, the super things. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much for supporting my work, supporting the channel, supporting each other. I didn't even bother to lead in because I could have talked about it when I first started the video, but The post that I did on my community post of that lady, listen, she tagged me. I wouldn't have never thought about it. I would have never known about it had she not tagged my personal account. She tagged my personal account. I usually don't I don't comment from that account. I usually don't even really use that account. Um I use it for watching and listening. I don't use the one that I record from, but I have a bunch of accounts. Anyway, she tagged my personal account, and then it dawned on me because I remember seeing her in the live feed, in the comments, like she was just talking crazy, and like I heard you wanted to whoop my ass and all this other shit. I'm like, who are you talking about? And then I think when the moderators were like deleting her comments or whatever, she would just switch to another one of her accounts and she'd comment from that account. So I literally went into YouTube and discovered all of the other accounts that she had, and I just blocked them all. And then I went and something said, go look at Instagram. And I went onto her Instagram, and she also has several Instagram accounts similar to the accounts that she had on YouTube. So I went in and I blocked all of those too. But I also, because tarot readers, we're not like all like, kumbaya buddies, buddy, but I have made a few friends in the tarot community that are on YouTube and on Instagram and on TikTok, and I saw a couple of people that I know like in this woman's feed. So I like reached out and was like, hey, whoever this chick is, like, you're on her hit list too, like block this crazy broad. So just know, don't if you don't resonate with none of my work, that's cool. You don't have to be here. I'm here for the people who actually do rock with me. I'm a tarot reader. Girl, go touch some damn grass. Get a life. Leave us alone. All right, guys. I love you. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. I'm gonna see if I can come back, but I think we're supposed to have house guests this weekend, and I have a class on Saturday, and I might not be here tomorrow all day, so I don't even really know. But we'll see. If I'm here tomorrow, then maybe I'll throw something on, and we'll go from there. All right. But I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, evening, weekend, and or year whenever you happen to get this, as my readings are timeless. All right. I love you. Till next time. Take care.